Welcome back to the channel. Let's take a little look at NIO stock going forwards into this next week. Now, despite what many people may think, I would argue that the past week has been a really interesting one for NIO, and I would say it's been a relatively positive one. Now, a lot of people may be wondering how I can say this on a stock that's down by nearly 5%, but I'll make it all make sense over the course of this video by sharing my personal thoughts and opinions. As always, remember, this is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor, but with that being said, we might as well jump straight in. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a lot. Anyway, so where I want to start this one is actually by zooming out to the 1 month context. Now this is something that we all know, but actually visualizing it is going to help us a lot. NIO stock is up quite a bit. From the lows to the highs, we have gone up by 50%, overall in the past month, 31%. Now coming over to the more technical chart, and you can see a few things, okay? You can see NIO stock is ultimately seeing this breakout pattern from that price point that we saw again in the late part of last month into this month. We're seeing this breakout, we're coming out of the range of, let's say, $4 or $5, coming right up into the $6 range, actually almost touching $7. Now, the reason why I think the last week has been absolutely perfect is because we've seen a few very crucial things play out. We've already been aware of the rise that we've seen, but often with gains like this, the difficulty can simply be locking them in and maintaining them and holding on to them. Now, what we're seeing here with NIO stock aligns perfectly with what I wanted to see going forwards into last week from the perspective that we were looking at this video just 7 days ago. Because we are seeing NIO now in a position where we're maintaining these gains, we're holding on to them. We are seeing this hold above 609 or 610, and the reason why that's of course important is because that was a recent low. We're now holding above that. Again, we went slightly higher before coming back down. However, look at the pattern. We're now starting to sort of settle out, right? We're finding a nice bottom. This bottom I'm going to call around 625, which is perfect. And now we're in a perfect position where we could be poised to see more growth. Other noteworthy points towards the end of the day, we saw this one slightly pick up. However, despite the ultimate red sentiment on Friday, I think this wasn't that bad. Now, going forwards into the next week, what do I want to see? Well, most importantly, we're going to want to remain above 610. Again, that previous level that we just don't want to drop below. Previous level of support. If we can hold it again, that would be fantastic, but that's in a worst case scenario. More ideally, we'd be looking to see this one hold above 625. Again, not that impossible either. I think that's absolutely doable, but time will tell. Now on the upside, first level to break out above is really going to be 650. You know, we're having difficulty at 650 here, difficulty at 650 here, and again, a lot of difficulty breaking through this point here, and arguably here as well. So 650 is going to be another key level. Obviously past that, we're going to be going on to highs like 680, 675, you know, and then ultimately, hopefully, onto $7. Now, NIO stock is a stock which I think has a lot of hope. I think it has a lot of potential. As always, with a stock that goes up by, 50% or so in the last month or two, the question is, how much more do we have to run? And whilst I'm not here to make you guys' opinions up on that, right, that's for you to decide. What I'm simply here to do is highlight some of the key levels that I am looking at so that you guys can go on to make your own opinions. But I think based on my opinions, we're seeing NIO stock line up absolutely perfect. This is exactly what we want to see. It's really going to be about seeing if we can hold onto that key level of support, mainly at 625. Again, past that, we could be looking at levels down to 610. On the upside, very, very simple. Just about breaking above and breaking out of the recent channel that we've had a lot of difficulty in. If we can break out of that up to 650 and beyond, I think things are looking very strong. But in terms of potential, and again, no one can say with 100% certainty, this should go without saying, but in terms of potential, I think NIO stock is lined up absolutely perfect. I mean, just look at this chart, just look at that absolute perfect stability that we are seeing coming in, right? Nice degree of consolidation here. I think now we do have that ability to potentially run from here. However, time will tell. I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on what may happen in the next week. I think this is really going to be one to watch. And depending on what you see here, right, depending on how high you see this one potentially going, there could be an argument to be made for now being a very interesting entry point for NIO. But again, things could always go the other way. I must stress this, and again, I am not a financial advisor, and this is just my opinion. Let me know your opinion down in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for your time. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I do hope I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. See you later.